Welcome back, everyone, to the final section of the Interrupting Expulsions group learning experience. My name is Ryan Fry. I'm an early achievers coach with Childcare Resources. Today, in our final section, we will be discussing next steps for your early learning program, policy, and staff supports. Since a portion of today's video will talk about program policies, let's start by taking a look at what the WAC has to say about expulsion. You can view the WACs by navigating to the dcyf.wa.gov website. Use the search function to search for Title 110 WACs, then scroll down to open up the Title 110 WACs. Once you're there, scroll down again to Section 300, the Foundational Quality Standards for Early Learning Programs, and scroll down again to open up Section 340, and click open the PDF to view what it says about expulsion. Feel free to take a minute to read through the WAC regarding expulsion. If you're unable to navigate to the DCYF website to look at the WAC on expulsion, I've summarized a couple of the key points for you on the slide. Now, please take a couple of minutes, or as much time as you need, to reflect on the following questions. How is the WAC on expulsion reflected in your site or classroom's behavior expectations? And how is the WAC reflected in your expulsion policy? Policies create a backbone for all the strategies and supports teachers use in the classroom. Just like how teachers give the kids the tools they need to be successful, the childcare program's policies can give the teachers the tools and supports they need to be successful too. A good behavior support policy will incorporate all the strategies we have discussed in the previous sections while still being unique to each childcare program and setting. Sorry to break it to you, but there isn't a perfect one-size-fits-all behavior support policy that will work for everyone. You'll have to create one that fits the uniqueness of your childcare. Let's take a couple of minutes to reflect on behavior guidance policies. What elements do you think make for a strong behavior guidance policy? Please feel free to pause the video for this reflection. It can be a challenge to develop and communicate preventative guidance policies that are developmentally appropriate and promote social, emotional, and behavioral health. There's an assessment tool that considers the essential features of a behavior guidance policy. The TAGPEC, Teaching and Guidance Policies Essentials Checklist, can be used as a tool to help guide administrators and caregivers to create effective and equitable behavior guidance policies and to evaluate existing policies. The tool aligns with Head Start Early Learning Framework and the Classroom Assessment Scoring System, also known as the CLASS tool. The TAGPEC highlights 7 essential features of behavior support policy, which you can see here. It looks at intentional focus on teaching social and emotional skills, developmentally and culturally appropriate learning environments, setting behavior expectations, preventing and addressing challenging behavior using a tiered model of intervention, staff training and professional development, working with families, and use of data for continuous improvement. They recommend that policies should describe behavior support and intervention procedures, be implemented consistently, without bias, and be clearly communicated to families, staff, and community partners. A key component of feature number 5 is strong understanding of culture and diversity, opportunity for self-reflection, and awareness of implicit bias. Another thing to bear in mind is that your policy is a living document, one that changes over time to reflect your increased knowledge and skill in supporting behavior, while also reflecting the community of families and children in your care. Another thing to think about is how you can involve all stakeholders in the policy creation process. How can you involve the teachers and the families? What skills or expertise do they have that can bolster your policy? While there are many benefits to having strong policies in your program, a key benefit is that they can help sustain the quality you have worked so hard to instill at your childcare. They can keep staff on the same page while still allowing room for individualization. They help with staff retention. Staff feel supported by their peers and their admin, and new staff are supported by a stable infrastructure that already exists. You will reap the benefits of strong policies in the classroom, and they can help you work towards culturally appropriate environments. These environments embrace the best practices that we are familiar with from the environmental rating scale and go beyond to focus on the strengths of the children and the families. You want to look for strengths and focus on what the child and the family knows and can do. Create space for more positive interactions that give you a better understanding of how to support the child's learning and foster connections with the family. while building relationships with families to help learn about their home routines, celebrations, the communities they engage with, and their hopes for their children. Like so much of the work teachers do, a big piece of it is positive interactions and building strong relationships. From the outside looking in, anti-bias education work might feel challenging, but it is not that different from what teachers are already doing in their classroom and really parallels the type of teaching you are already doing. For example, while playing outside, the kids may notice and become interested in a butterfly. The teacher would notice this instance and respond to the kids' curiosity by extending their curriculum to incorporate the kids' new interest in butterflies. The teacher might read books about butterflies, add butterfly wings to the dramatic play area, provide butterfly-related art opportunities, and other materials related to the kids' interests. The same process can be done while talking about other topics like race, class, gender, sexuality, ability, or family structures. It's important to remember a teacher's ability to engage in anti-bias work is already ingrained in what you do. Just like with other areas of your curriculum, topics might come from things you overhear the kids talking about, stem from a conversation you have with parents at pickup time, be something the teacher or teaching team is interested in, or come from historical or current events. The efforts for anti-bias work don't just rest on the shoulders of the classroom teachers. Commitment from all levels are required. Here are some tips to support the work. Build a culture that allows risk-taking and has room for making mistakes and growth. Use tools for staying on track, like an anti-bias framework. Have support from the administrative team. And dedicate time to meet as a team for self-reflection. A guiding framework that works for your center and staff can be helpful. This example is from the NIAC website and can be used as a jumping-off point. A key element to partner with anti-bias efforts is staff reflection time. Take a couple of minutes to pause the video and think about what staff reflection time looks like for you or for your staff. In thinking back to our previous discussions about implicit bias, staff self-reflection time is a great opportunity to reflect and consider how implicit bias can show up in your work. To wrap up, we wanted to share some of the professional development opportunities that are available to you. In addition to annual STARS hours, there are many other opportunities to bolster skills and develop new ones. Finding the right trainings and courses that fit your passion and career path can take some searching, but hopefully this list will provide something for everyone. Here's a list of links to websites with professional development opportunities for further perusal, and thank you for joining us.